Good evening and hello, my scholars. Welcome back to the Kemet Maasai Academy. We are live and we are doing our PEP Ability Test. All right, so we are going to be doing 20 items tonight in the ability test, and this is actually a mock ability test issued by the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information. All right, so that's what we're going to be doing tonight. So let me grab my link so I can share it so others may join. All right, so let me grab my link. I can share it so others may join. All right, so let me grab my link, share it. All right, so make sure you have your pencil, your book. Let me share this. Live and live. Okay, so those are all my peoples. It has been shared to all my peoples. Okay, sure, Madison, run, go and come back. All right, so everybody now knows we are live. Come on in, scholars, and remember, as you come in, just give us a hail up, give us a big up. Give us a big up. Good evening, Miss. Good evening, fellow scholars, right? We have to maintain our protocol. We're born and grew at Jamaica, so you know we have manners. So I'm going to share my screen now so we can see our peppers. And good evening, Amari, good evening. On the screen with me, I have Madison and I have Amari. Welcome, scholars, welcome on screen with me. Feel free to, let me hear what you are thinking. And as we go along, so we're going to work together tonight. All right, share my screen. Hold on. Share my screen. How is the reception tonight, scholars? Hearing me well and seeing me well? Yay! I know that yesterday we were having a bit of a problem. Okay, so that's our ability test. All right, question 1. So let me just make sure that it's on the screen and you can see. Not yet? Oh, okay.
Miss, can I answer that question, please?
Read it for me, Mari, and then answer it. First of all, though, read the instruction at the top.
Okay, Miss. Ability test. For items 1 and 2, select the word that best completes each statement. Smoke is to fire as cloud is to. Miss, I would say rain.
Read the option for me, Amari.
Okay, Miss. A, wind. B, heat. C, rain. And D, sun.
Okay, and you're saying that it will be?
Miss, I would say that
rain.
It would be rain. Yes, Miss.
Okay, Madison is saying sun. All right, so Amari says rain, Madison says sun. Let me hear your reasoning, Amari. Why do you say rain? And then I'm going to hear from Madison why she's saying sun.
Miss, I would say rain because the clouds rain, and I don't see clouds have sunning. Miss, I don't see clouds sunning. I think it's rain. That's why I think it's rain, miss.
Okay, Madison, why do you say sun?
Miss, I say sun because you when you're in the day you can still see clouds out, and in the night you don't usually see a lot of clouds out. Even though yes, when it's raining you can see clouds, but you can also see clouds in the sun. It's not just necessarily rain that you see clouds.
But is that the association that they're making? Is that the same association we get with the smoke and the fire? So
Miss, I was just about to say that's the next reason, miss.
that's a what?
That's the next reason, miss. I was just about to say
Another reason. Okay,
another
so
reason.
the association I'm getting, so where there's fire, smoke is produced. We get smoke from fire, and the cloud produces rain.
Miss, I see how my answer is wrong.
Right. There are clouds in the night, and let's say there was a moonlight out. Would you be able to see the clouds in the night?
Yes, miss.
Right. So you would be able to see the
Miss,
clouds. So what we want to do is to make sure that the same association that is made with the first two, we are consistent with that association for the other two. All right, so let's go to question 2. All right, Madison, you want to read this one for me? Read
Miss,
the question, the options, and then the answer.
Miss, I can't see D, what D says.
D says tiger.
Okay. Dogs to puppies as blankets to kittens. A cow, B sheep, C cat, and D tiger. Miss, I would say cat.
All right, what is the association there?
miss, I agree.
Miss, because a cat is an adult kitten and a dog is an adult puppy.
Okay, very good, and that is consistent, right? We're maintaining the pattern. All right. So for items 3 and 4, we're to select the word that is a necessary component of the word in bold type. What do we mean by a necessary component? What's that? What do they mean by that? We are to
Miss,
choose the word that is a necessary component. Yes, Madison.
um, that to have the thing, you have to have another thing.
All right. So it's necessary to have one thing, you have to have another thing. Okay. So the options are, all right, and Kaveen, welcome. And Kaveen is saying dogs have puppies, cats have kittens. That's absolutely true. All right. So let's see now. You can't see the options. Read the options for you. So the word that we have is sandwich, A, tomato, B, lettuce, C, meat, D, bread. Which one is a necessary component to make a sandwich? Without
Me,
it,
miss,
you would not have that. What do you say, Amari?
miss, I think bread.
Miss,
What
I
do you
agree.
say, Madison? Bread? All
I
right.
also
So you're saying, okay, if we don't have any tomato, we can still have a sandwich, right? Oh, hi,
yes,
it's Kimoya.
Yes, we can.
I'm hoping I'm pronouncing your name properly. Kimoya. I hope so. All right. So if we don't have a tomato, it can still be a sandwich. It could be a peanut butter sandwich, right?
yes.
It could be a cheese sandwich without
Miss, it
tomato.
could be a
Same for
sandwich
the
without
meat.
tomato.
Right. Same for the meat. So everybody is saying It's the bread, because without the bread, it's not a sandwich. We need 2 slices of bread, one at the top, one at the bottom, and that's what makes it a sandwich. And then the type of sandwich now would depend on what is inside. All right, so Kimoi is agreeing with us. She's saying, yes, it definitely has to be the bread. The next question. Remember, they had said for items 3 and 4, it's the same instruction. So we need to find which of these things is a necessary component to have a house. Let me read the options first, Mr. Amari. I know you're eager to tell me the answer. Yes, sir. I know you have the answer already. So in order for there to be a house, do we have to have A, a balcony, B, a kitchen, C, a roof, or D, a stairway? Amari, go ahead. Which one?
Okay, Miss, I would say C, a roof. Because Miss, if you don't have a roof on your
Why do
house,
you say the roof?
if you don't have a roof on your house, anything can get in it, or and rain can fall while you're sleeping and those stuff.
Mm-hmm. Right. So it's not complete without the roof.
Yeah, the house wouldn't be complete. It would have to
Right.
have
It's
a roof.
definitely not. You couldn't live in it without the roof. You could live in
Yes.
it without all the other things and still be comfortable, right? All right. And Kimoi is agreeing. She's saying the house must have a roof. Let's go on to the next item. Right. Roof completes the house. That's what Kimoi is. Kimoi, I want you to let me know off the air later the pronunciation of your name. Please, ma'am. I do not want to be here mispronouncing your beautiful name. Now, here we have item 5. Go ahead, Amari, read item 5 for me.
Okay, Miss. For item 5, select the word that does not belong to the group. Microwave.
Read the
A.
option.
Microwave.
Mm-hmm.
B. Refrigerator. C. Blender. D. Television.
Miss, may I answer?
Let me hear Amari's first and then I'll hear from Madison. What do you say, Amari?
Miss, I would say television.
Why
Miss,
does it not belong?
I think it's saying the stuff that are in the kitchen, that are in the kitchen.
Okay. So, Madison, what do you say?
Miss, I say television for the same reason.
All right. Even though we have some fancy people who have television in them kitchen, but what we're saying is, given the options, the most likely one that would not be in most persons' kitchens would be the television, because the other three are pretty common in kitchens: microwave, refrigerator, blender. They are pretty common kitchen items. So we would have to say the television does not belong. Which room are we more likely to find the television?
The living room.
The living room. And again, some fancy people have television sets in their bedroom. All over the place nowadays, you find in television sets. All right, now I'm going to read this passage. It says, read the passage carefully and then answer item 6. I'm actually going to read it twice. And I would encourage you, when you are doing your tests, whether it's the ability test, the performance task, any kind of test, read your passages carefully. Take your pencil, underline important dates, important names, important amounts, and special words that give you instruction. For example, don't do this or make sure to do this. So here's the passage. The first green monkey was brought from Africa to Barbados more than 300 years ago. Now the monkeys are in danger because of men. The monkeys often attack fruit trees and birds, so the farmers shoot them. Also, there is less and less woodland on the island because it is being cleared for building. This means it is more difficult for the green monkeys to find places to live, so they move onto farmlands. And I think it continues on to the next slide. The mongoose does more damage than monkey. It was brought to the island 100 years ago to kill rats, which were damaging the sugarcane. Now that the rats are under control, the mongooses have started to kill other mammals, reptiles, and birds. And this was adapted from Language Tree Workbook by Macmillan Caribbean 2007. All right, so let me go again. It says, read the passage carefully, then answer item 6. The first green monkey was brought from Africa to Barbados more than 300 years ago. Now the monkeys are in danger because of men. The monkeys often attack fruit trees and birds, so the farmers shoot them. Also, there is less and less woodland on the island because it is being cleared for building. This means it is more difficult for the green monkeys to find places to live, so they move onto farmlands. The mongoose does more damage than monkey. It was brought to the island 100 years ago to kill rats, which were damaging the sugarcane. Now that the rats are under control, the mongooses have started to kill other mammals, reptiles, and birds. This passage was an excerpt adapted from Language Tree Workbook 4 by Macmillan Caribbean 2007. So here is item 6. Madison, read it for me, please, and tell me what's your take on this.
Miss, blank means the same as under control. I would say be fewer.
Reactions first.
A, all dead. B, fewer. C, have increased. And D, safe.
And your choice is?
B, fewer. Because
All right, tell me why you chose B.
Miss, because in the passage they're saying that they're under control, but there's still rats in the
Mm-hmm.
Caribbean and in the world. So
Oh,
that would mean they're like under control, if you're understanding what I'm saying.
all right, yes. So it's not that they have been
Miss
eliminated, right? It's not that they have been eliminated, but they are now a small amount so they can more control them. So it's fewer.
Miss, I
So
agree,
Alice,
but I would, Miss, I would also say I have a different reason, Miss. Miss, can you
okay,
please go on the
Amari,
slide before that?
pardon, oh, go on the slide before that.
Yes.
All right, welcome Alisa, and Alisa and Amari are both, that is B. Are you referring to this slide?
Yes, yes, Miss. Miss, it said,
All
Miss, it
right.
said reptiles. And Miss, wait. Oh no,
What's the significance of reptile?
Miss, I'm getting them mixed up with rodents, Miss.
Oh, okay. All right. But you still agree that it's B?
Yeah, yes, Miss.
All right. Okay, so item 7, examine the words closely, then place them in a logical sequence. Amari, what do they mean by a logical sequence?
Um, Miss
They want us to put these words in a logical sequence, but what does that mean? Madison,
Miss
can
doesn't
you
mean
guess what
Miss
it
doesn't
means?
mean alpha.
Miss,
Go ahead, Amari.
Don't worry, Miss.
Madison,
Miss, I would say it would be in a sequence that makes sense or in an order that makes sense.
correct. Okay. A logical sequence, one that makes some kind of sense. And logical sequences could be chronological sequences. So from this time to the next time to the next time, alphabetical sequence, anything that shows some kind of order. All right. So Alisa is saying yes, it means the proper order. So we have 4 words. Read the 4 words for me, Amari.
Okay, Miss. Miss, I can't really see D.
Or you can't see. No, read the 4 words in the
Oh,
box.
oh, okay, Miss. B. I mean, belt, leather, cow, and skin.
So we have belt, leather, cow, skin. What order are we able to put them? So A says the belt comes first, then the skin, then the cow, then the leather. B says the leather comes first, then the cow, then the skin, then the belt. C says the cow is first, then the skin, then the leather, and then the belt. And D says the skin is first, then the belt, then the cow, then the leather. Which one is correct?
Miss, I would say C.
All right, so you're saying we must first have the cow, and then we get the skin from the cow,
Yes,
and that
Miss.
skin we put it through a process to make leather, and from the leather we get the belt. That is
Yes, Miss.
correct. Yes, that is correct. All right, so moving right along, and we're now at question 8. All right, now this one is kind of weird. It has some strange looking words, but if we figure out the pattern, then we can figure out the answer. So it says the words in bold, and you notice they underline bold. The words in bold are from an artificial language. Beside each word is its meaning in English. So we have hyphonslock, which means fill cup, merslock, which means blue cup, ruspolk hyphon, which means land fill. And item 8 says, which word could mean fill bottle? Can you see the options?
Miss, I can't
Miss, I
really see
can't
the,
really see.
I
I
can't
can't
see.
really see C and D.
All right. So let me read the options for you. Amoy
Miss, may
is saying C because she's referring to the one we just did. All right. Sometimes the
Miss,
comments in the chat have a delay and they come in a little bit later than we would want them to come in. Yes, Madison?
Miss, may you
Or was
spell them
it
out?
Amari? Who was?
Miss, it was me,
All right,
Madison.
certainly. So I'm going to read the question again and then spell the options for you. The words in bold are from an artificial language. Each word is the meaning in English. HIFONSLOK, that means fill cup. MERSSLOK means blue cup. And ROSPOKHIFON means landfill. Now they want us to know which word could mean fill bottle. Is it A, HIFONSLOCK, B, PHERROSPO, C, PHEKSLOK, or D, ROSPOKSLOK? Which do you guys say could mean fill bottle?
Miss, may I answer?
Go ahead.
Miss, I say A.
Tell me why you say A. That would be hyphen sock. Why do you say that?
Miss, because in the example, it
Mhm.
says hyphen slok SLOK means fill cup. So what I'm getting is that hyphen probably means fill, and then slok means cup, and then
Mhm.
if you would change the CH, it probably means bottle.
Okay.
I'm getting from it.
Yes.
Miss, I agree.
Amar agreed. That is right. And if we look at the third word also, it ends with hyphen and it ends with fill. So we know definitely that hyphen means fill. And actually, that's the only one in the option that starts hyphen. So that's definitely the one. Item 9. For item 9, select the most appropriate word to complete each sentence. Read for me, Amari.
Okay, Miss. Yesterday I learned how to dash flour to make fried dumplings.
Read the options.
Okay, Miss. The options are A. Need. B. Need. C. Bake. D. Roast.
So you have to spell the two different
Yeah.
needs then.
A. Need. B. Knead.
And which do you say?
Miss, I would say B.
Spell that one.
Um, Knead.
And what does that need mean?
Miss, like you pressing the flour,
Okay.
or you putting it together.
All right. What does the other need mean? The NEED.
Miss, the Need. Miss is like you have to have something in a situation.
All right. All right. So persons in the chat are saying yes, they do agree. Kimoy and Alyssa are saying absolutely it is B. All right. You need the dough. You need the flour to make the dough to make the dumplings. All right. And need means what you can't live without. So Kimoy is agreeing with you, Amari, on the definitions. Let's go now to item 10. Would make us halfway there. Okay, so item 10 has two passages and it says read both passages, then indicate whether each conclusion drawn is best described as true, false, or cannot tell in items 19 and 20. So here are those instructions again. We are to read both passages, then indicate whether each conclusion drawn is best described as true, false, or cannot tell in items 19 and 20. So let me read the passages. I'm going to read each one twice. Passage
Miss, can
1.
I please use the restroom?
Pardon me?
Miss, can I please use the restroom?
Sure, go and come back. All right, passage
Thank you.
one, but you're gonna miss the reading of the passage, Amari. Hopefully, you make it back by the second reading. All right, passage one. The history of pizza begins in the distant past when various ancient cultures produced basic flatbreads with several toppings. The first pizza was probably made by Italians. Modern pizza developed in Naples, Italy, when tomato and toppings were added to the flatbread in the late 18th century. Okay, so let me read passage one again. The history of pizza begins in the distant past when various ancient cultures produced basic flatbreads with several toppings. The first pizza was probably made by Italians. Modern pizza developed in Naples, Italy, when tomato and toppings were added to the flatbread in the late 18th century. Here comes passage 2. Bami is a traditional Jamaican cassava flatbread descended from the simple flatbread eaten by the Tainos, Jamaica's original inhabitants. Bamis have been consumed long before Columbus came to Jamaica. It is made from cassava flour. It is believed that bami was first prepared and eaten by native Taino people. Once again, passage 2. Bami is a traditional Jamaican cassava flatbread descended from the simple flatbread eaten by the Tainos, Jamaica's original inhabitants. Bamis have been consumed long before Columbus came to Jamaica. It is made from cassava flour. It is believed that bami was first prepared and eaten by native Taino people. Let us refresh our memories as to what we are expected to do for items 19 and 20. After reading the passages carefully, we are to indicate whether each conclusion drawn is best described as true, false, or we cannot tell from the passage. So let's see items 19 and 20. Okay, sorry, was it 19 and 20? Sorry,
I think it was 9 to 10. Oh, never mind.
19 and 20? I think that was an error. That should have been 10 and
Nine.
11
Oh, okay.
or 9 and 10. The last one we did was 9. So the numbers got mixed up on this paper, but definitely item 10 because it's about what the passage is about and the options are true, false, or cannot tell, right? So it should be for item 10. All right, so item 10 says the Tainos played an important role in the development of pizza. Is that A, true, B, false, or C, cannot tell?
Miss, may I answer?
Yes, go ahead.
I'd say B, false.
Why do you
Be-
say it's false?
Because nowhere in the passage about pizza did it say anything about the Tainos.
Okay, so that was in pizza was mentioned in which passage?
Passage 1.
And the Tainos were mentioned in
Passage
Passage
2.
passage 2. All right, so that is a false statement. All right, Amari, read question 11.
Okay, miss. Select the number that comes next in the sequence of numbers below. Miss, I would say
Read the
for
sequence, and when you're
oh,
reading the sentences, say the number first. Read the sequence for me.
okay, miss. 6, 12, 20, 26, 34, 40, and the
All
answers are.
right. What do you say?
Oh, Miss, I would say A.
A is what?
Oh, sorry. A is 46, Miss.
Why would you say A?
Miss, I would say A because A is the smallest number that's there, and it starts with 40. It would be 46, then
Is that the
48.
reason? Because it's the smallest one
Wait, no,
and
Miss,
starts
Miss
with
is up.
40?
Miss is
Miss,
6. It's going up by Miss 6.
Miss, I have a
Let
different
me hear
answer.
what you're saying,
Done it.
Madison. Let me hear what Madison's logic is.
Oh,
Miss,
okay,
I
Miss.
say B 48 because in the sequence, as you can see, it goes 6 plus 6, which equals 12, then 12 plus 8, which equals 20, then 20 plus 6, which equals 26, then 26 plus 8, which gives you 34, then 34 plus 6, which gives you 40. And they already went up by 6, so you go by 8.
Correct. You see what she's saying, Amari?
Yes, Miss.
So when we're doing sequences, we don't necessarily look for the biggest or smallest, or we have to see what is the pattern. What are they doing each time? So first they add 6. 6 plus 6 give 12. Then, as Madison explained, they add 8. Then they added 6. Then they added 8. Then they added 6. So now it's time to add 8. All right. So Alyssa, you are right. Kimoy is also right. They got 48B, as did Madison. All right. So let's go on now to item 12. Madison, can you read item 12, please? Call the number and read the options.
Sure, Miss. A pattern is shown below. Look at the first two rows in the pattern to help you work out the missing number in the third row. 6, 6 over 7, 7, 1, 14, 2.
All
Miss
right, so
on.
the arrow means goes to. So we can say 6 goes to 6 over 7, 7 goes to 1, 14 goes to what? And read the options now for the answers, Madison.
A, 14 over 15. B, 2. C, 62 over 7.
And D says 14. All right, so let me hear your choices, scholars.
Miss, may you please go back up?
Go back up to the question.
Yes, Miss.
That one. Okay.
Yes, Miss, thank you.
All right. So 6 goes to 6 over 7. 7 goes to 1. What does 14 go to? Which of these options? Let's hear what your thoughts are on this. Welcome,
Miss,
Deshane. Welcome. What are your
Miss, may I,
thoughts?
Miss, may I answer?
Go ahead.
I say 2 because 6 out of 7. So the whole is 7, and then 6 out of 7 would mean 6. And then the 7 times 2 will give you 14, which would equal 2.
All right. So what they're doing is they're putting each number over 2. So we have the 6, sorry, not over 2, over 7,
Over
right?
7.
So the 6 over 7, and then the 7 over 7 would give 1, and now the 14 over 7 would give 2. So that's correct, Madison. So the answer is B, actually, B2. All right, next item 13. And we're given 3 diagrams. The first one has 8 boxes and 6 shaded. And it says that represents the same thing as a circle with 3 parts, 3/4 of the circle. So now they want to know what would a quarter of the rectangle, or 2 boxes out of the 8 shaded, which one of these diagrams would that represent? Any thoughts?
Me, Miss.
Madison?
Miss, I say C because as you can see on the first diagram, it would equal like the circle with that part missing. So when you switch it around now, it would give you back that, like the part that would be missing.
Right. So that's a quarter of the circle was removed, and the rectangle it's a quarter of the rectangle that's shaded. So it would represent the same as a quarter of the circle. All right. So that was C. Madison, please read question 14.
A box of 12 light bulbs fell. Some of them are
Remember,
broken.
call the number, even though I just said it. When you're reading it, I want you to also call the number. Number 14.
Number 14. A box of 12 light bulbs fell. Some of them are broken. Which of the following numbers could not be the number of unbroken light bulbs?
Miss, can I answer that question, please?
Yes, Amari.
Miss, I would say D, 14.
Why?
Miss, because it says a box of 12 lights and 14 is more than 12.
Correct. So you can't have 12 light bulbs breaking and then 14 would be. It's 12 in all and some broke. You can't have 14 left. That's correct, Amari. Does everyone agree?
Yes, Miss.
Everyone in the chat? Right. So we all agree. Some get broken and 14 are left. All right. Amari, read item 15, please.
Okay, Miss. The diagram below shows parallelogram.
But why you guys keep forgetting to call my number? I
Oh,
love to hear my numbers.
number.
You're depriving me of hearing my numbers.
Miss, you're echoing.
Okay. No, I'm not
Number,
sure what's causing that. Go ahead, Amari.
number 15. The diagram below shows a parallelogram.
Parallelogram.
Parallelogram PQRS.
All right, so here's the question that goes with it.
Which of the following represents the greatest length? A. PQ plus PS. B. PQ plus SR. C. QR plus PS. D. QS plus SR.
All right, so look back at the diagram. That's the diagram.
Yes.
All right. So it's a parallelogram PQRS. Would PQ plus PS, PQ and PS, sorry, PQ and PS. So look at them.
Miss, may I
So
answer?
that would be one long side and a short side added together. Then we have PQ and SR, which would be 2 short sides added together. We know that can't be the longest length, adding 2 short sides. QR plus PS. So that would be a long side and another long side. And then the last one, QS plus SR, which would be the diagonal and a short side. So which of these options you think would give the longest length?
Miss, may I answer?
Sure.
Miss, I say C because two long sides would be
All right.
debatable.
Right. The two long
Which
sides.
I agree.
Right. Even though the diagonal is the longest side, but they paired it with a short side. So that kind of cancels it out. The two longer sides would give us. All right. Back to you, Amari. Read item 16.
Okay, Miss. Number 16. Dennis is numbering the pages of his book. Page 1 is a right hand page. Page 2, a left hand page, and faces page 3. A right hand page. A right
And
hand
this
page.
is page 3, which is a right-hand page, right?
Yes, Miss. Which two pages will face each other?
Read it again, Amari.
Okay, Miss. Dennis is numbering the pages of his book. Page 1 is a right hand page. Page Page 2, a left hand page, and faces page 3, a right hand page. Which two pages will face each other?
Okay, read the options.
A. 11 and 12. B. 22 and 23. C. 27 and 28. D. 31 and 32.
All right, let's hear some ideas. Which two pages each other? Students on the chat, when you're giving your answers, just write the number that you're answering, because sometimes the chat comes in a little later than we're going, right? There's a delay. There's a delay in the chat. All right, so Madison is saying 11 and 12. Give reasons, madam.
Miss, I wrote out like on a piece of paper, like right, left, right, left, right, left. And when I counted it, I had 11 and 12 together, like facing each other.
All right, so the first page is on top. The first page is on top, and then 2 and 3 face each other. So 2 and 3 face each other. 4 and 5, 6 and 7, and so on. 8 and 9, 10 and 11.
Oh,
11,
never.
not 11 and 12. 10 and 11 would face each other. So if you notice, the pattern is we have an even number facing an odd number all the time. Which of the pairs up there has an even number facing an odd number?
Miss B.
B, Miss.
B. Right. B is where we have the even, then the odd. Because remember, if page 1 is on top, then every other pair of pages would give an even number and an odd number. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. So the only one here, even if you weren't going to do them, all of them, and check to see, just looking at the pattern, B is the only one that has an even number and then an odd number. But if you wanted to go ahead and do page by page to see what faces, you would definitely end up with 22 and 23. Okay, Madison, please read number 17, and then we have 3 more to go.
Number 17. A bag has a certain number of red, blue, and green marbles. Half of the marbles are red. There is the same number of blue marbles as there are green marbles. Which of the following could not be the number of marbles in the bag?
Please read again.
A bag has a certain number of red, blue, and green marbles. Half of the marbles are red. There is the same number of blue marbles as there are green marbles. Which of the following could not be the number of marbles in the bag?
Options.
A 32, B 56, C 77, and D 100.
All right. Let me hear some ideas. What do we say? Which one could not be the number of marbles? Okay. Kimoy is saying D. Duchenne is saying D. But you need to give reasons. Reasons. Why are we saying D? Jada is saying, well, let me, so many persons are saying 100. It's not possible for 100 to be. D is 100. That's what people are saying.
This I don't agree.
Let me hear the logic. Agreeing that it's 100.
This
Why?
I don't agree.
Or you don't agree. All right. Kimoy is saying 17. Is there 17 in the options? 7. There's a 77. Besides saying 77. Say Madison.
C 77, because you can't get half of that and have 2 quarters left, because there's 3 numbers, so and half of it is red. So what I'm getting is that the blue and green should be split up in quarters, and you can't do that with 77, but you can do it with
Very good.
100.
And the other numbers as well. Right?
Yes.
And Kimoy is saying, Kimoy is agreeing. She's saying is an odd number and you can't find half equally. And these are marbles. We're not going to be splitting marbles, right? Alisa is saying C because I realized for the others I could have add up to something and then split it and get an answer, right? So remember, we took out half. We have to be able to take half of the number, and then the other half we split it, so that's quarters. So that means the number must be divisible by 4, right? Other numbers are divisible by 4 except C 77. All right. So we have 3 questions to go. Amari, can you read question 18?
Okay, miss. A boat has a crew of 5 people. It can carry a total of only 16 people. How many trips would it need to make to carry 75 passengers to an island?
Read it again.
Okay, miss. A boat has a crew of 5 people. It can carry a total of 16 people. How
Of
many
only, of all, you leave out a word only. Go
it
again
can
from the top.
Okay, miss. A boat has a crew of 5 people. It can carry a total of only 16 people. How many trips would it need to make to carry 75 passengers to an island? A.
What are the options?
A. 5, B. 7, C. 11, and D. 15.
Okay, let me hear some ideas.
Miss, I say 5A. Miss,
Say 5.
because you can divide 16 into 75 and get a remainder of under 16, and the boat still has to go back for the rest of people to come back. So 16 can go into 75 four times and leave a remainder.
But when the boat is going back, is it carrying 16 people back?
No, Miss is carrying back 11. But it's
11?
yes, Miss.
Why 11?
Because when you divide 16 into 75, you get a remainder of 11.
No, but listen, the boat is when the boat is going across, it has 16 people, right?
Yes, Miss.
And it's going to let off 11 of them because the crew, the 5 crew, need to go back. So each time it's going across, it's taking 16, and when it's going back, it's taking 5. So for 2 trips, it would carry 16 plus 5, which is 21 persons. So for each 2 trips, it's 21 persons, right?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, so if we add those up, um, so 2 trips would be 21, and then 2 more trips would be 64. Sorry, would be 42, and 2 more trips would be 63, and then we can take an additional trip, which would be 79. So that's 7. That's how we get 7 trips,
Yes, Miss.
right? The trip going across will have 16 persons, but when they're going back, it will only have the crew, which is 5 persons. So the round trip is 21, and we can have 3 round trips and then 1 extra trip with the last set of people. That's 7 trips before we make the 75.
Yes, Miss. I did the division again. I left out the 5 people, and that's how I got my answer.
Right. So remember, the crew is 5, and it's going back with only a crew. All right. So 2 questions. So Amari, can you read question 19?
Okay, Miss. Number 19. K estimated the number of people in a stadium to be 32,000. Which of the following numbers could not be actual number of people in the stadium? A. 30,000,
32,050.
32,050, 32,100.
B.
B. 32,101. C. 32,487. D. 32,976.
All right. Which one do you say could not be the actual number of persons,
Miss Miss, I
and
would
why?
say
All right. So Kimoy is
Miss.
Miss, I don't understand
saying
that
D because
question.
closer.
Yes, Miss.
All
Can I
right. So
explain?
let's hear what the other students say.
Miss, I
All right.
don't
Just a
understand
minute,
that
Madison.
question.
All right. We'll tell you in a minute, Amari. Kimoy is
Okay.
saying D because it's closer to 33,000, and Alyssa in B. Alyssa is not giving me a reason. Madison, what is your answer and your reason?
I say D because in terms of rounding, all of those could be rounded back to 32,000. And she's estimating, she's not guessing the actual number. But 32,976 can be rounded to 33,000 and not 32,000.
Correct. Okay, yes. So Kimoy and Madison are on the right track there. So they're Amari, what they're doing is they're rounding off to the nearest 1,000.
Okay,
And
miss.
they're saying, essentially, they're saying which one of these numbers could not be rounded off to 32,000. All the others can except 32,976 because the 9 is in the hundreds place. We would round it to 33,000. But the others have a 0, a 1, and a 4 in the hundreds place, which means we would round down to 32,000. Last question, Madison, could you do me the honor of reading the last question?
Sure, miss. Number 20. Kelly wants to find out how many Jamaican $1 coins will cover the surface of her book. What information is necessary for her to make this decision? A. The number of pages in the book. B. The number of coins that fit along the edges of the book. C. The thickness of the book. D. The total number of coins that she has.
Okay, please read it again.
Miss the question as well or the answer?
Everything.
Okay. Kelly wants to find out how many Jamaican $1 coins will cover the surface of her book. What information is necessary for her to make this decision? A. The number of pages in the book. B. The number of coins that fit along the edges of the book. C. The thickness of the book. Or D. The total number of coins that she has.
What say you?
Miss,
Let me see some answer. Let's hear some ideas first. What would help her to determine?
Miss, I say B.
Why do you say B? And what does B say?
The number of coins that will fit along the edges of the book. Because
How would that help her?
once she has the coins along the edges of the book, she could just fill in the rest of coins and then she could count them.
Okay, that is correct. The number of pages won't help her because she's concerned with the cover. The thickness of the book is not doing with the cover either, right? And it doesn't matter how many coins she has, what is important is the size of the book. So knowing how many coins can fit along the edge, that will give her an idea. She can put it along both edges, the length and the width, and then multiply, and she'll get how many coins will fill the entire cover of the book. Do you understand, scholars? So that's it for tonight for our ability test. We have covered 20 questions. So next week, Tuesday, we'll do the ability test again, and the week after that, indefinitely, so that our scholars can be ready for their ability test. So yesterday, we had our performance task, and tomorrow, we'll have another performance task. On Thursday, we'll have our critical thinking, and on Friday, the curriculum-based test. So we have all our bases covered. Everything that needs to be done, we are going to make sure that we do it. All right, so as we wrap up, as usual, scholars say goodbye, not just to teacher, but to your fellow scholars as well. And take care of yourselves, get your rest, and I'll see you tomorrow on our next live class. Thank you for being with me. It's always a pleasure. Encourage others to come out and participate. And if you are interested in being a part of the studio crew, where you will be appearing on screen and helping me to analyze these questions, just indicate to me and I'll add you to my studio crew. All right, so until next time, take care. Love you all, my scholars. Bye bye.